best things in life are free, but you can keep.
Yes, they are. Welcome back to Kare11 today. Our next guest left home when he was just 11 years old, leaving behind a really troubled family life. But his story isn't one of tragedy, it's one of triumph. And he's here to tell us all about this in his new book, Get Off Your Assets, How to Deal with the Challenges of Life and Win. Desi Williamson is the book's author, and he's joining us this morning to tell us more. Good morning. It's good to have you back on this show.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
You are such a wonderful, shining example of persistence and in hanging in there. You had another book you self-published.
Yes, we did.
Of a similar name, right?
Yes, we did. It was Get Off Your Assets, How to Unleash the Power in You.
In you. Now you have a big-time publisher.
Right. Well, you know, we couldn't get a publisher the first time around, and so I decided to self-publish it, and we sold 50,000 copies, mainly at my seminars, at my programs, and from that success, I was able to get a major publisher interested in the book, and now we're going to have national distribution all over the country.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Not only does persistence pay off, you have to have something to say, and obviously you have something to say because you're all over the country providing inspiration to lots of people. First question, Desi, I have for you is, why do you think so many people fail?
Well, I think the main reason is that most people don't have a plan for their life. You know, we kind of wake up and we're taught, you know, in life to, you know, go to school, you know, get a good education if we can do that, then go find a job, and then we just kind of drift through life, and we wake up one day, and usually at some point past 35 to 40, we say, wait a minute, is this all there is to my life if we get to that point? And then we wonder, you know, is there more? So I think the key thing is for people is you have to have a plan. And the earlier you can get the plan, then the more success you're going to have and the less surprises you'll have later on. You know, you're always going to get knocked off course, but that's part of the process.
Once you have your plan, then, how do you get it going?
You have to be willing to take action. And I think one of the real problems sometimes with people is that there's an inability to want to embrace humble beginnings. You know, a lot of people want to start at the top. And unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. But when we're willing to start at the bottom, what the fruit of that comes from the learning experiences along the way. Some of them are successes, and some of them will be failures. But you have to be willing to want to start small and then work your way up.
You have provided a great deal of help with folks who are in prison, and trying to give folks who would not normally have much in the way of freedom, certainly outside of prison walls, some renewed hope for their lives. How have you done that? What if you can convince them?
Well, the main thing is to convince them that that failure is a verb. Okay, failure is a verb, not a noun. And because I failed or made mistakes in the past, that doesn't have to define my life for the future. So it's a change in mindset. And so to get them to fundamentally understand that first, the only value of the past is how wisely I invest that in the future. And so just because I'm in prison now doesn't mean that that has to define the rest of my life.
And these are folks frequently from childhoods that all they've ever been taught is a negative image, self-image. And what you're saying is, it doesn't matter where you've been, it's where you are right now, which is where you'll take your life then.
Well, it's programming. You know, I use a disk as a metaphor, like a computer disk. You know, we all get a computer, we get a set of operational instructions. But unfortunately, with the brain, we don't get that. When we grow up, we kind of learn as we go along. And so if I've got a song on this disc, and the first song is Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places, and I've asked the guy to play that, I'm going to hear that every time. Why? It's programmed on the disc. Now, what if I took something and I scratched it up over and over, and I really gnarled this thing up? Would it ever play the same again? No. Why? I've changed the program. We have to do that metaphorically with the mind. Most of us grow up with a negative concept. No, stop. Don't dream too big. You're only going to be disappointed. Oh, don't set your dreams so high. Nobody's ever done that before. And then we come out and we try to accomplish something in life, but it's the programming that holds us back. So if we can just get in there and get people to have a different vision for their lives, that's where it all starts.
In 30 seconds, what made you and got you to get off your assets?
Well, you know, I ran away from home when I was 11 years old after dealing with a lot of negativity. My mother was married 9 times. You know, I say, Liz Taylor, step aside. You know, my father was married 3 times. Now, you've got 12 marriages between 2 people. Now, when somebody gets married that many times, you might say they're looking for love in all the wrong places. I ran away from home to live with my grandmother. And after raising 8 of her own children, including my father, she took me in. She immediately changed my program. She taught me it doesn't matter what people think about you or say about you. You can do anything in this world you want to do as long as it doesn't violate universal principles and laws. She got me to dream. So I saw myself doing things I'd never done before. When I decided I wanted to be an athlete, everybody laughed at me. I was not the best athlete in our neighborhood. But 6 years later, I have a scholarship to the University of Minnesota. But it all started with the thought that I could do it in the first place. And that's what she gave me, vision.
And Grandma who believed in you. Boy, have you done her proud. It's always such a pleasure. You
Thank
are an
you.
inspiration. You really, it's so from your heart.
Thank
You know
you.
what you're talking about. Desi's book, again, is called Get Off Your Assets, a wonderful gift for anybody who's searching and trying to find some life definition, how to deal with the challenges of life and win. It is available, we're happy to say, in bookstores everywhere. Pick one up.